customer is looking to have an estimate for a backyard patio slash sitting wall slash walls slash pizza oven. Yeah, good stuff. So, all right. So, a lot of the dimensions are going to be are going to be found on the plan that we have. So, I'm basically going to walk through some of the differences that we have. So we've got obviously a patio that's going across the bulk of this, and then there's a circular part that comes out in this area right here where this shed, I don't know what this kids play area, whatever thing is. And on the apex of it, a little ways out, is going to be a fireplace. Okay, they said that people said it needs to be 25 feet away from the house. So I am making the assumption that that fireplace is 25 feet away from the house, and that dimension that we have out there equals that 25 feet. So Sherry, if you want to pluck this into Insightly, I don't know, not Insightly, and pluck this into SketchUp. I don't know if that's how you're doing it or not, but we need to make sure that that fireplace located is 25 feet away from the house. Now, the designer that I met with, who is here, she doesn't want it to be facing straight at the house. It needs to kind of be cockeyed, off-centered, so maybe at a 45-degree angle. So that's going to dictate the apex of this. So actually, probably the apex of this needs to be closer to 30 feet, something along those lines. But we're going to go, so we need to kind of figure out, based on how that is, how that's going to be turned, where that fireplace is going to go. I've sent the picture of the fireplace size that they want. In that picture, it's a pretty wide one. I don't know what the regulations are in Eden Prairie, or anywhere for that matter. What part constitutes the fireplace, like the fire part of it. Is it that no part of the fireplace can be closer than 25, or is it literally the fire itself? So we'll just have to figure that one out. So they are on the far side. I think that in one of the plans it called for like something that was square, maybe like a pool pad, or no, I'm sorry, the pool control room. That's a rectangular thing. They actually want to have just a poured pad. So we're going to just pour a cement pad for their hot tub. She just sent me the link to it. It's about 8 by 10 in that general range. The hot tub pad does not need footings. It's just a pad. So we do need to rebar it together, but it can be a floating thing. That's next to the patio. So then actually I need to get back over to that fireplace that's over there. So if you can imagine the fireplace, let's say it's 8 feet wide, and let's say that the circumference is, I want to say it was 16 feet or something like that. Or no, that was a diameter. But going halfway around the circumference, equaling the rest of it, they want sitting wall. So if we're at 8 feet and the circumference, the whole of the circumference is, let's say, 30 feet. I don't know what it is right offhand. But then so 16 feet of that is going to need to be enclosed. So 8 of that for the fireplace, and then I'll call them wing walls on either side. That's enclosing the rest of the half of that. So basically, equal side sitting walls on either side to wrap around half of that circumference of circle. That's going to be over here. All right. So we've got patio. Oh, before I forget, we are bidding this in premium bluestone. And it's going to be done not with patterned, it's going to be done with like 18 by 3s or 1 by 2s. So it has that plank look to it. We've got some steps that are going in over here, and these are wide steps. I want to say that they're wider than what's currently here. I think the plan it calls for 12 feet wide. They want substantial steps. And once again, we're going to be using that true bluestone that they had an origin book, so I showed them the true blue. If they ask for the Baltic blue, I'm going to say we can do Baltic blue on the ground, but the true blue needs to be for the steps because we've had too many issues with the Baltic blue on cement applications. So anyway, steps, the step and the material, we're going to try and find, I had a picture of, she had a picture that had rustic fond du lac, and I'm kind of curious if we can find some rustic fond du lac in wall stone. So it's not going to be a lot for this, but there's a wall that's going across the back as well. So this is the part that I wasn't quite sure about and that I really wanted to get additional measurements on. So their yard, starts over here and goes all the way across and ends over here. And I'm not sure if that's on the drawing or not. And I haven't taken that measurement at all. But what I was concerned about is they have on the plan, they've got those lines that show what the heights of the elevation are. And just by gauging kind of where we are, where I've left my my measuring wheel is 50 feet from the house. 50 feet from the house. And if I'm just looking at one of the plans that they have there, that looks to be about how far out that wall is. So if they do a single 4-foot wall, they can do it at 50 feet. But they talked about 2 tiered walls, and if that's the case, we need to have that front wall at 45 feet and the next wall 5 feet back. So I also told her that, if we're bringing down grade to this level, we need to make sure that we account for walls on the sides as well, because it's going to be lower here than it is on each side. So they do have something similar to that in the plans. If this is 50 feet, I'm guessing that we probably need to have 15 to 20 feet of return walls on both sides, and they said that we could just grade everything down on the sides. So once again, if I don't necessarily think it needs to be 100% rustic Fond du Lac, but I think that half and half. I did tell them that we've got that not everything that's available in veneer is going to be available in wallstone. So I said we can find something that's close, but just know that veneer and wallstone aren't always the exact same product. So and they seem to understand that. So we've got the fireplace with the wing walls. We've got patio that's going through here using the plank look, using their 18x3s or 1x2s. Using the premium the true blue bluestone, I think is what they call it. I don't recall right offhand. And then we've got a wall that's going to cross the back here and coming into the sides. I gave them the number for a landscaper in case they want Lisa Schmidt. But actually, maybe, did I give them that number? I want to say it was like Green Goats Landscaping has bid on this as well, something along those lines, but they didn't want to touch the steps or anything that has to do with mortar, so the fireplace or the walls. But I think that we're on the same page that if we do all that stuff, it'd be best for us to do the patio as well, so we can set grade and have everything. We take care of the landscaping, they take care of the softscape. So access, let's take a peek here. Oofta, it's quite wet over here. Yikes. Assuming that I'm standing on, well, that's a hard assumption. I'm not quite sure, but we'll assume that we have Bobcat access coming through here. We'll have to just go ahead and put that in the description. Assumes Bobcat access. Let's look on this side. Yeah, there's 6 feet on this side that we'd be able to drive through as well if we needed to come at it from this way. I told her that we would be driving on her grass. We'd put dirt down, but then the landscaping, the grass would be something separate. So, yeah. So we've got the fireplace with the surrounds. We've got the step. We've got the patio. We've got the wall. I think that's it. Oh, hang on a second here. We talk about water. Is this the place we talked about water? I don't think so. Okay.